Hey, it's just Pete Shaw here, back with another video. And before I actually talk about the thing I want to share with you today, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's watched the last couple of videos I've uploaded, for the people that have actually subscribed to this channel, which is a little bit wild knowing there's a few people that are willing to kind of watch these videos and follow this journey. And also just for the lovely kind comments that I've received on the videos that I've done as well. I really have appreciated reading those. Now, today I wanted to kind of share with you a little thought that came up the other day that made me kind of question the whole point of being here and doing this little kind of channel and sharing these videos, and kind of running with the thing that I only started a few days ago. So if you guys caught the first video that I recorded, and if you haven't, you can click somewhere below to kind of go back and watch that. But I actually shared the fact that it's been probably a couple of years that I've considered setting up this little corner of the internet to share my kind of story, challenges, struggles, lessons, and beyond that as well. You know, not just talking about all the kind of, you know, all the bad stuff that I've worked through, but actually all the good stuff and maybe some life lessons, and hopefully with time, you know, some motivation and inspiration for anyone that watches these. And that idea has kind of been brewing for a couple of years, and then you know, this year I've kind of felt pulled towards an inner burning desire to do these videos and just to share from my heart, really, without a proper plan or structure. And when I created the YouTube channel at the end of January, it took me a couple of weeks to actually hit record on the first video, and my mind was questioning, you know, who's going to watch these videos? You know, is there actually a point to this? Will people really, you know, give a shit what I've got to say? And if you watch the video, I kind of explained the fact that I'm almost being a little bit selfish doing this video right here and right now, and all the videos that I'm doing, because for me it's a chance to, you know, externally process what I've learned, externally kind of talk about things so I understand it better. And it's a bit like therapy for me. I think it's a talking therapy, to actually get it out of me, you know, to get the words out, to get the ideas out, just feels great. And although I did that first video and I felt nervous before I did it, I loved recording it. I enjoyed and was excited to share it. And then the next day I went on a long run and I shared that as well. And then a couple of days went by, and in those couple of days and this is just me being totally honest, and a part of me kind of doesn't want to share this. It doesn't want to, you know, want the world to know this. But I sat there looking at my phone and I was like, I wonder if anyone's going to view it. I wonder if anyone's going to watch it. And I was like, kind of like almost like a little kid on Christmas Day, like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see people watching this video. I was so scared and nervous to share it. I took the plunge, you know, let's see who watches it. And as the hours went by, you know, as the minutes went by, no one had watched it. And the hours went by and no one had watched it. And the more times I clicked on it, I think it went to like 3 views. And I was like, Pete, they're the 3 times that you watched your own video. I didn't watch the whole thing. You know, I just clicked on it and I was like, right, stop that. Remember why you did it. But before that point, I was like, am I just wasting my time here? Like, how is anyone in the vastness of YouTube and the internet and the world of millions of videos and all these kind of people that have the, you know, the millions of views, the thousands of views, the hundreds of views, the, you know, people that watch their videos, you know, how is anyone even going to find me, Pete Shaw? How is anyone going to find me? And if someone even is going to listen to me, how would they even stumble across one of these videos? And at that point, I started to question, like, why am I doing this? You know, what's the point? And I really want to make the clear, distinct fact, or the kind of thing that I've learned the most here, is that that's not me that's thinking that. And that might sound a bit woo or a little bit wild or crazy, like, Pete, of course it's you thinking that. That's your thought. And it really isn't. I want you to kind of imagine that we have a higher self, you know, our self that's all knowing, that's all trusting, that is creative, that's willing to take risks, and that's willing to kind of jump in head first, that doesn't care for external outcomes, that just wants to kind of be the best it can be and, you know, explore this world and, you know, and grow and become everything that it can possibly become. And then you have the ego. And then you kind of have the small version of you that always wants to kind of play it safe, that's worried what other people are going to think, that's constantly trying to look out into the environment for threat and put up a protective block or wall or mechanism to keep safe. And it's there for good reason. And, you know, we can call it the ego. We could even call it the inner critic. You could call it our small self. And basically, it's there to kind of protect us from, in essence, being rejected by our tribe, by other human beings. Because think about it. Once upon a time, we would have lived in small communities round a campfire. And if you were rejected by your tribe, let's call it your group of people, then your life would be at risk. You know, you'd be kind of kicked out the tribe. You'd be left to fend for yourself. And, you know, there'd be a grizzly bear or a lion or a tiger out in the forest that could eat you alive and you would die. So there is a genuine threat to your existence when you are potentially going to be rejected by other people. But the problem is, a lot of the time it's false. It's a false alert. It's a false kind of, you know, red light on the dashboard. It's a kind of false red flag or warning sign. Because actually, by posting this video, I'm not going to, you know, die as a result of people not watching it. And I'm not going to die as a result of people not finding me and subscribing and kind of taking it anywhere. So that's kind of the first distinction that I had to make. And ultimately, what we've got to understand is that by not doing the thing that I deep down desire, then I am actually rejecting my own self. And that's probably the biggest lesson here that I've learned, is that when I constantly worry and labor over and fret about what other people are going to think, and that kind of paralyzes my action. Like, let's just play this scenario through. Like, I'm doing another video today. It's clearly proven that, you know, I've cast that aside, and I'll explain what went on in a moment. But just imagine that I did play that through and I deleted the channel, deleted the videos. I've just abandoned, I've just rejected, and I've just completely disregarded and suppressed a part of me that wants to be expressed. And I really want you to think about the kind of impact that that can have on my own self, you know, on my own mental health, on my own mental state, on my emotional state. When I'm basically saying, hey, Pete, the world doesn't want you, or hey, Pete, you are only valued when the world sees you, hears you, and praises you. And as humans, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be praised. Of course we do. A lot of that often, you know, comes from our upbringing. You know, we want to be praised, or we were praised for the good things that we did, and we were kind of punished and, you know, we were kind of punished for the bad things. So it's an inner driver that says, you know, I want to be seen and I want to be praised. But this is the really important thing and reason why I've shown up again today, is that's my small self talking. That's conditioning. That's other people's ideas that have been put onto me. That's someone else's voice that's maybe perhaps said, hey, what's the point doing this? Or don't waste your time, or don't take a chance, or don't put yourself out there. And you know, that's the protective mechanism in place. But what I actually did to get through this, and the bit that's really helped me show up again today, has firstly been that if I am worried about external rejection, and I act based on that, then I'm rejecting my own self. Secondly, that I'm actually physically not going to die if people don't watch this video, subscribe, or don't comment on anything like that. And actually, I will be okay. I will be just fine. And I, you know, I will be able to continue in the world, and everything will be good. And, you know, there's kind of like the logical explanation you have to give yourself, but I think a lot of the time you have to go through it enough to have the experience. I think that's the difference kind of between theoretical knowledge that you'd read in a book or watching a video and then going and applying it. But the big thing for me, the big lesson, or the big action that I took was, Pete, why are you doing this? What's your why? You know, I referred to it at the start of this video, and in the first video I did, that I'm here to express something inside of me. I have an inner desire to just share, so I'm just going to share because it's therapeutic. I'm going to share for my own benefit, and I'm going to share because it feels good for me to do that. And I'm going to do that regardless of whether anyone watches this, or whether anyone comments, or whether anyone likes or subscribes, because the intention, the reason, the root actual motivation and the kind of reason why I'm doing this is for my own benefit. And when I'm clear on that, I remind myself, hey, just record the video for your own sake, for your own health, you know, to get the words out and to not reject yourself, and in fact to show self-worthiness, self-love, self-praise just for doing the thing that you most want to do. You know, there's real credit in just absolutely patting yourself on the back for saying, I did the thing that I feared, I did the thing that I desired, I did the thing that I wanted to do regardless regardless of the, result in terms of, external attention and praise. And the last thing is this is the last point, is that I actually just want to have trust. I actually want to have trust that right now, I don't know what I'm going to talk about on some of these videos, but I trust, and it's hard at times, and at times that trust wavers and it disappears and it goes into hiding as the small self comes out into power and the ego takes over. But when I sit in silence, when I meditate, when I go on walks, when I'm not distracted with an audiobook or music or anything else, ideas start to flow to me. And ideas start to come to me. And as long as I trust in taking just the next step, not worrying about the next 5 steps, the 10 steps, the 20 steps, the 100 steps, not trying to climb the mountain or the staircase, but just being willing to take that first step or that initial next step, then the next step will be revealed to me. And that's what I'm recommitting to. And as I'm recording this video, that's what I'm going to affirm to myself, that Pete, if you just take the next step, don't worry about the next 10 videos, the next 5 videos, just focus on what you want to say now. What's come up for you? What's been real? What lesson have you learned over the past few days of going silent and listening to the small self, listening to the ego, playing it safe, hiding from the world? Did that benefit you? Did that serve you? And what message do you really want to share, regardless of how it's accepted or not by others, whether it lands or doesn't, whether anyone sees it? What do you want to say that is going to most help you right now and fulfill that desire of your own? And just saying this out loud now is making me realize why I've started this, why I'm here, the point of this journey, and the fact that this is about inner, desire-driven action, and that it's about inner motivation factors. It's not about the external, how many views can I get, how many subscribers can I get, how many comments can I get, what praise can I get. That's going to be cool if it comes, it's going to be cool if it doesn't. I'm welcoming of it. I'm also welcoming of the fact that it might not. And it's my small self that is craving that and just wants someone to say well done and keep going. And that's been a big part of my life, that I've wanted other people to say, Pete, you fit in. Pete, well done. Pete, you carry on, mate. You are deserving of this. Well done. Great work, whatever. And I'm slowly leaning into my own kind of self-praise. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for my reasons. And all of that is bonus. It's icing on the cake. It's the cherry on top, but it is not the cake. It is not the real deal. It's not the real reason why I'm doing it. Let me be driven by my inner purpose, my inner desires, my inner reasons. So, hopefully that made a little bit of sense. I went on a bit of a ramble and a rant there. But that's all from me right now. No fancy kit here on these videos. It's just me and my iPhone recording from the front camera. So I don't know how the quality is on your side. I'm going to switch that up with time. I did buy a little microphone the other day, but I realized that when I get a bit excited that the microphone volume goes a bit wild and it'll probably deafen you. So I need to work that bit out first. And again, this is about just taking action right now instead of taking perfect action. It's about hitting record, talking, not having a plan, no script, no fancy technology, because they're all just barriers that have held me back in the past. Oh, I need a microphone, I need the lighting, I need a camera, I need editing software. Yeah, all of those have just become fancy, not alibis, but, excuses and fancy reasons dressed up as excuses to not do this. So no procrastinating. Here's my third video out to the world. If you got some value with this, please let me know. I welcome your comments below. If you kind of heard something that was a light bulb moment for you, or kind of switched something inside of you where you thought, Pete, I recognize myself in this, or Pete, yeah, that's really helpful, or Pete, can we hear more about A, B, and C? I am an open book. I have got a lot to share, and I am still kind of working out what I'm going to share, how I'm going to share it. And I don't really want to kind of pigeonhole or box myself in on that I'm just going to talk about my journey, or I only going to talk about the challenges and stuff, because I think that that's all good, but it becomes self-indulgent, and that's not what I want. I want to share from my heart, wear my heart on my sleeve, and kind of share things that I think will help others, things that'll certainly help me, things that have helped me, and kind of document the journey. I want this kind of to be a bit of a documenting the journey of, you know, stepping into this new chapter of life and stepping into this kind of new project, as I keep calling it. So yeah, if you've got feedback, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, you know, if you've got something that you maybe want to see more of, I'm not going to promise that I'm going to deliver on it, but I will certainly take it on board, and you know, it might feature in an upcoming video. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for spending 15 minutes of your life with Pete. It's really appreciated. Hope you have an amazing day wherever you're up to. I'll hopefully catch you soon.